21esima tappa del Giro d'Italia.
Stage, and so they'll be nervous. It's difficult to be relaxed like this and then get switched on. They'll do it, but some of the sprinters, yeah, perhaps just want to get on with the racing.
Was that on the back of the motorbike in the white? Felix Grosjean, the last to get his arms off the bars, and there we go.
Formation cycling.
Some skills there. Don't want anything to go wrong at this part.
Vegan State Langer looks awkward. He's got a slight wobble on. There's slight nervous. That's not.
No, it's
that's
not
a nervous grin.
But they're straight into it. I think that's a slightly brisker. That's good.
They've done this before.
Yeah,
They've practiced.
Up. That's fine. That's very good.
That's good. I thought I saw him on the rest day in a local car park, giving it a nudge.
Now that's great, isn't it? The next jersey demonstrates his. So there we go, photo shoot, and again, well executed. I think they've all learnt on.
Yeah, there's one rider in the centre. It's a yeah, one rider's not particularly happy.
Decathlon Étoile Mondiale.
Yeah, they're going to be very happy with that, and that's why we're seeing, although they haven't won a classification,
yes,
the fact they've got fourth overall and 2 stage wins, they've just gone, do you know what?
We'll have a photo.
We're going to celebrate the Giro. So they've all got new helmets. That's pretty special for him.
And that's good, because he won't be on the podium.
No.
At the end, because he hasn't actually won that competition, but he'll bank that picture, won't he? That'll be framed, hanging on the wall of the Pellizzari den, with Mark Cavendish as well, albeit on a different team. Because that was such a good story this time last year, of Geraint Thomas doing that big lead out for Mark Cavendish that was a major part of it. What have we got there? A little rat.
It's some sort of rodent, mascot.
Yeah. Interesting. Not very aero, but he's kept his spirits high.
Yeah, and still got a very good team. But the sort of sprint you're going to see today, a lot of it will be seated. Because if you get out of the saddle and you start to lay the power down, unless you've got a particularly good technique, we'll see a few riders do it, you'll lose speed because the rear wheel will start to lose traction and just make you inefficient. So it's all about maintaining contact with the back wheel with both wheels.
And they applaud a significant rider and his significant career, especially at the Giro d'Italia, not just at the Giro, but especially in this race that he loves so much, comes to a close in the next couple of hours here.
He actually spent all of his former years. Yeah, whole underground cell system.
Imagine that. Just waiting for your moment to run out in front of all those people being chased by a lion.
Well, they used to keep the lions down, the animals down there as well, but they used to starve the animals for days before then setting them on the so they'd be hungry, so they would run for the weakened slaves. That was what they used to do. Pretty brutal. And then a rush down the other side, so they're carrying a lot of pace into the final few kilometres here. Relaying well. Nice tight little unit. Will that rider from Politica Meta manage to get across the gap, because they're moving? It almost, the way he's ridden, it almost feels as if he should have come away from the race with a pretty big result. Just feels like that to me.
La Dolce Vita.
The most stylish, aesthetically pleasing on a bike of this group of riders, powering along.
Marcelluzzi wants the cash prize here.
He does. Oh.
Martin Marcelluzzi wants the money and gets it by a whisker. A little bit of discussion there between him and Honoré.
That didn't go down too well. No. But it's a sprint. They clearly hadn't had the... There we go.
To switch off. Well, Costure's going to take this handsomely. So Costure will be on the podium. I think that's appropriate, actually. He's been, without reward, he's been a very aggressive rider throughout this Giro d'Italia. With Ryan Mullin in the mix of the UAE Team Emirates, so it's mostly the GC teams all over the front as they take the bell, and the sprinters wait for their moments to assert control of the front of the bunch.
Yeah, they're just filing past that commentary.
So Jonathan Milan off the back, and that will be the end of his sprint. There is no way that Milan, at the pace they're going, no idea what's happened, but whether he's come off or got a puncture, he's at the side of the road, team car nowhere near, that's it, Milan won't be winning from here.
That's going to be, if he can get back on here, it's going to be something very special.
Right, he's keeping his composure. Merlier then, Consonni with Milan on his wheel. Tim van Dijk pushing for the line. There comes Merlier with that raw burst of power. Merlier has got this one. Can Milan come round him? Milan not giving up on this, but Merlier holds them all off. Milan in second place. That was an astonishing final 10 kilometres, and victory, well, goes to the fastest man in the end. Tim Merlier, just with that raw burst of pure speed, gets the race won on stage 21. But as much as that's the headline, how about Jonathan Milan's second place?
But third Grand Tour victory for Tadej Pogacar. His first attempt at this race. Dominated it throughout. A strong, unified team around him. And now he can take his moment in Rome. And he'll be lifting the Trofeo Senza Fine.
It's a funny thing, isn't it, the final stage of a Grand Tour with the sprint still to complete and all the racing in the final